In this video, I'm going to give you the basics on how to take a reading, how to find direction with a Lensatic compass. So just for a little terminology here, here is our bezel, okay? Here is our index line. We take all our readings at this index line. Here is our sighting wire, our sights here. We will put these on the target we're taking a reading at. And here is the magnifying lens, okay, that we'll look through when taking our reading. And see this little sight here, we'll line this up. We'll try and line this up with the sighting wire when we're taking our readings. So see here with all the numbers, that's the floating dial. This tells us what direction we're going. And here is our luminous line. Once we get our reading, while leaving the compass on the reading, we'll overlap that with the luminous line on the north arrow, and when we're hiking, when we're marching, that will help us stay on track. Instead of trying to sight the little tiny number, we'll have these two glowing lines, and at night it will glow, okay? We could just look down at that, and it makes it easy to make sure we're staying on track. If they don't line up, that means we are not hiking in the correct direction that we've set for ourselves. Now, let's take a bearing. So I'm going to use this thumb loop here and create a good level sighting surface. Pull this to my cheek, okay? And now I'm going to get my target in that wire, okay? And while it's in that wire, I'm going to look down at that magnifying glass and get my reading. It's very, very simple. So a little bit of point of view here. You'll keep the wire on your target, and while you do, you'll look through that magnifying glass. It may be hard to see through the camera, but it's really easy to see those numbers with the naked eye. Okay, so get that target on there, look through the magnifying lens, and get your reading. Now, when you're looking through the magnifying lens, you're going to look at the number that lines up with this line here. This is the index line. See, not that luminous line I just moved. You're going to look right here, the index line. So with your sighting wire on the target, looking through the magnifying lens here, you're going to sight the reading at this line here. This is called the index line, okay? And you're going to take note of that number. So let's say I look through and my reading was 24. Well, keeping the index line on the 24, I'm going to turn this luminous line till it matches up with the luminous line on the north needle, okay? So again, while keeping the index line on the 24, we move the luminous line until it matches up with the luminous line on the north. So now I don't have to keep staring down at that little number. I know as long as I have these two luminous lines matched up, I can head out, I can walk, and I'm staying on that direction. And indeed, if it's dark, these luminous lines, these glowing lines, will help me to keep my bearing. So as I walk, I just try and keep them matched up, and I know I'm headed on a 24-degree bearing. Now, some people like to call it an azimuth. Some people like to call it a bearing. They really can be used interchangeably. Just if you're doing this for work, call it whatever your boss says to call it, and you can fight over the difference in bearing and azimuth in the comments. So again, to take a bearing with this, we get our target, our object, lined up with the sighting wire. We look through the magnifying glass at the index line on the compass, and whatever number that is pointing to, that is our bearing, okay? And remember, this is the index line here. We will then turn the luminous line while keeping our reading on the bearing until it matches up with the luminous line on the north arrow, and we can march on that heading.